What's going on, guys? MariK here, back with another Dragon Ball Super Deck profile. This time around, we are going to be doing a highly requested profile that a lot of people have been asking us about ever since I had mentioned it. It just took me forever to get around to doing it, and while I do apologize, I feel like this is more kind of like a fun gimmicky deck, and it needs more fine-tuning for it to actually be worthwhile to play. But without further ado, we're going to focus on our boy, Beerus, our universe's god of destruction. When he attacks, if you get 3 more energy, you KO a battle card 2 or less. Super underwhelming. This, basically, the only way you could really take advantage of this is that on your turn 2, you have to play Objection. Like, Objection has to be your turn 2 play. So that you can have 3 energy. Now, there is another option, and we'll get to that in a moment. On the Awakened side, when he attacks, you get to draw a card, choose a battle card 3 or less, and KO it. So he didn't care how much energy you were at, which by the time you awakened, you were going to be at least 3. His activate mains for 16 energy, switching the rest mode, you win the game. You're not really going to accomplish that. I did come close to getting that when I playtested this deck. It didn't happen. I made a slight miscalculation, and I ended up with the energy, but I didn't end up with the energy and then the ability to have all of it active to use the ability. And so, that's why I said the deck kind of needs some fine-tuning, but there is another goal in mind with this deck if you can't reach that 16. So the first card we play is going to be Universe 10 Supreme Kai Gowasu. We use him just because you look at the top 3 cards of your deck and add a god to your deck. This whole deck is built with gods, so you're never going to whiff of that ability. Another 1-drop to play. There's a lot of turn 1 plays you can make, so you're never going to be without a play. Your second option is going to be Wiest, Destruction's Aid. He's a 1-cost, 4K. When you play him, you draw a card. And for 2 blue, if your leader is a blue Beerus card, you can place him in your energy in rest mode. So that's what I was talking about with the leader's front side. You have to have 3 energy to use his ability. So if turn 1 you play Wiest, turn 2 you charge a card, use both your energy to put Wiest in your energy. You now have 3 energy. You can use the ability that way too. But you want to make sure you can get to 3 energy on turn 2 so you can start using his ability. It's not super ideal and it is a super linear line of play, but that is what I have found to be the best option. And then your last option is Bulma God Tempter. This is the only battle card in the deck besides Trunks that's not a god. And the reason for this is if you don't get Gowasu, if you don't get Wiest, she's a 1-cost that's going to search out a Wiest. So it's not like you're going to have a hard time getting Wiest battle cards to your hand. Then, since the deck focuses mainly around gods and around energy ramping, we run 4 Majin Defier West Supreme Kai. She has barrier, and she basically acts as an energy while in the battle area, so you can tap her to use her as energy. That does, however, leave her vulnerable to attacks. You have to be really careful or ensure that you have some kind of defense or negates or super combos or whatever to protect her and make sure she stays alive. Otherwise, it just almost defeats the purpose of even spending 2 energy on her. Then we have 4 Wiest, the Resting Attendant. When you play him, you get to add a card from the top of your deck to your energy. So he helps ramp your deck up a little bit, and he himself helps with the energy crisis for this deck. He's also searchable via that Bulma that we talked about with the turn 1 plays. Then for a little bit of added extra leader support, we have 2 Time's Choice Supreme Kai of Time. I probably would have ran the promo Supreme Kai of Time that gave you leader 5k and lets you draw a card, but I didn't have any. However, when you overwhelm this card, you look at the top 3, choose a battle card and add it to your hand. The rest go to the bottom of the deck. There's a reason we play this over any other overwhelm, and it's strictly because she herself is a god. That is also the reason that we play 4 Goku Black Countdown to Destruction. When you have 5 or more energy, you can play him for no energy cost. Now, his auto says, when you play this card, if your leader is Goku Black or Zamasu, draw 1 card and you can't play him for the duration of the turn. However, if your leader is not Goku Black or Zamasu, as is the case here with Beerus, you can play him for no energy. You don't get the draw, but you're also not restricted from playing another one. So you can drop, all 4 of them if you have them. That is detrimental to the next part of your strategy, which is playing God of the Gods Great Priest. He's a 7-cost 20k with double strike. He says when you play this card, if your leader is a god, choose any number of other gods in your battle area and add them to your energy in rest mode. So you're going to take all those Goku Blacks, you're going to take the Supreme Kai, you're going to take the Wiest, you're going to take everything and put it in your energy. Hell, you may even put him in your energy, unless you just want him as an extra battle card. That is going to help you ramp up to the point where you are going to hit enough energy that you can play your trump card for this deck, which is Wiest, Judge of the Gods. Now, this is a card, a throwback way back to set 1, which so is the Beerus leader, so to be fair. But he's a 12-drop, 40,000 quad strike with the permanent that his skills cannot be negated, and neither can his attack. Also, when you play him, if your leader is Beerus, you get to take another turn. So you can play him, attack for 40,000 quad, and then it's your turn and you get to do it all over again. Or if you have the energy and you have another Wiest, you can do that all over again. I had 2 Wiest in here. I feel like 2... Ideally, 2 is probably even low for this particular deck, but with everything you're doing, you're probably not really going to need more than 1 on the board. It would be nice to have more than 1, especially if you could drop more than 1, but I only had 2. I only had 1 that was readily available. I'm not sure where the other one is, so we only were using 2 for the deck. And then, of course, again, we have Unyielding Spirit Trunks for that free energy untap. We have our super combo, which is Elegant Assistance Helis. 1, because she's a god, and she's searchable via Gowasu. Also, because it's just a good super combo. It's going to help you draw into your deck more, thin your deck out. It gives you stuff to overwhelm for the Supreme Kai of Time. Then we have 4 Objection to help us ramp even farther to get to that 12. I hate Objection because you have to lose a card. I wish it was just pay 2, put this card in your energy, but you have to put another card from your hand in your energy, so you're losing 2 cards. You're essentially losing 1 for your, because it goes to energy, but it just doesn't feel good to do it that way. Now, with the Wiest, at least you play him, you draw a card, so it replaces itself, and then 2 energy, he puts himself in the energy. So I feel like that's a much better play, but Objection is still a solid card to keep in the deck. And if you happen to draw into too many, you just Objection and play another Objection. So then we've got 4 Senzu Beans, because the energy untap is really helpful with this deck, especially when you're trying to get more energy to play more of your cards to keep ramping up as fast as possible. Then we run 4 Dimension Magic, obviously the best blue negate in the game. Now, I realize we also run Overrealm. That gets in the way of Dimension Magic. However, you aren't going to play... There's a reason we only play 2 of the Supreme Kai. Because you don't want to Overrealm to play that card until the turn you're going to play the Grand Priest. Because the whole point is that not only is it going to add a card to your hand, but it's another card that you can add to your energy that doesn't cost you energy to play. So that's why she's in there. So it shouldn't get in the way of Dimension Magic at all, and you should have no problem playing any negates afterwards. If you have the open energy, you can play it, and if not, it should not be difficult to get another 5 cards into your drop. Then, as an additional defense, we also run 2 Wiest's Coercion, just because having the ability to negate an attack is always great, but also having the ability to restand in energy so you can negate another attack is super detrimental as well. There are a lot of ways that I would like to play this deck that I can't, just because the other cards that I want to play don't, it's impossible to mesh them together. If I could play Beerus ramp with any of the new set 7 Goku Black support, then I definitely would be. There'd be a lot of ramp going on, getting to 12 very quickly for Wiest, or even 16 for Beerus' effect. For those of you who haven't seen, and we'll go over this, we're going to go over this in our live stream as well, we are getting a new Beerus leader. It is going to be a reboot leader, is what they're calling it. So, whether it's going to have the same abilities, but have them slightly tweaked to be better, or whether it's going to be the same leader, just a completely new card in and of itself with new skills and such, that remains to be seen. Ideally, I would like to see, him keep his ability, but lose the restriction, the energy restriction. So on the Awakened side, let him attack, be able to KO a 3-drop or less. On the Awakened side, let him be able to attack and KO. I want to say any battle card. Maybe that's too much. Maybe 5 or less. The plus 16 to insta-win, I don't know about that at all. I kind of feel like that ability should just be replaced with something else altogether. If it is an insta-win, sure, but make it different. Make it different than that particular, or maybe you just have to get up to 16. You don't have to tap 16. You could just say if you're at if you have 16 energy in your energy area, then you win. That would be keeping in line with the same ability, making it a little bit more playable without making it super busted. Also, make the leader an untap 2 instead of a draw 2. For this deck, it really doesn't. It helps, but it doesn't, because the draw 2, this deck runs out of cards pretty fast. But the 2 energy would also help you further your plays as well. So I would say just make him an untap 2 energy. But that's just me. I feel like that's a much better card all around at that point. But we're gonna wrap this video up here. This one was a bit shorter. I don't really have any side deck options for this because your side deck options are basically gonna just be more like specialized counter stuff, maybe a few counter plays, maybe some extra counter attack stuff like Mafuba, or maybe you want some good blockers. I don't really know, since the whole purpose was just to ramp as fast as possible, and your end game is just either the leader's ability or Wiest's ability. So there's not really a whole lot of options there, at least not that I know of. But let me know what you guys think of this video. Let me know what you think of the God strategy, especially the one concerning Grand Priest and how you can play the Supreme Kai and all the Goku Blacks and everything to ramp up. And let me know what you are hoping that Beerus' leader will, his effect will be. Like I said, we'll discuss it in the live stream later in the week. But I always like to hear what you guys have to say. If you guys have tried a similar deck, let me know what your build was in the comments below. Let me know what you think of my build, any success you've had with it. You guys know I enjoy discussing all this stuff with you, and if we can make Beerus great again, I would love that. So, with that though, we're going to go ahead and get the frig out of here, and we will see you guys in the next video.